Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Keon and I am a all-star Turo host in San Antonio, Texas. And today I'm going to be showing you how to find the most profitable Turo cars for your market. So this first resource that we're going to use, that I use to get cars for Turo, is called the Turo Calculator. And this was designed by Turo. And basically what it does is it compiles all the average earnings of pretty much all the cars that are on their platform, and they pretty much put it on this website. So if we scroll down this website, right, you can actually see the most profitable cars. They actually have the top 10 most profitable cars based on the vehicle cost. So if we go and we look at the 10 to 25,000, right, and this is just off of the national average, but the number one car is the Chevrolet Cruze, right, and the average earnings are $7,300 a year. And then if we scroll down, we see, you got the Dodge Grand Caravan, which does over 10,000 per year, and then we have a Ford Focus, Ford Fiesta, Ford EcoSport. At number 6, we got a Chevy Spark, 7 Mitsubishi Mirage, right? And as you can see, right, these are pretty much economy cars, right? And then if we look at the 25 to 40K range, we have the Volvo V90 cross country at number 1, and it does over 18,000, which is pretty high. We got a Subaru Accent, Ford Bronco Sport at number 3, Volkswagen Taos, Honda Odyssey, Chrysler Pacifica, Jeep Wrangler, Honda Pilot, Mercedes-Benz Metris, Volkswagen Atlas. These are mainly like 3-row vehicles, some SUVs in here, right? And then if we go 40K to 100K, right, we have the Ford Expedition Max at number 1, Chevrolet Suburban at number 2, Porsche Macan at number 3. Right, so this is a great resource that you can use to kind of give you an idea of what cars would be good in your region. And one thing you want to keep in mind though is that as you go up in the vehicle budget range, the annualized return on your investment actually goes down. Right, so if we see the number one car in the 40K to 100K range only has a 64.9% return on your investment, whereas if we go back to the 10 to 25K range, the number one car does 195% ROI, right? So like the cheaper the car, usually the better your return on your investment with Turo, right? And I know these cars don't look sexy, but the cheaper economy cars are pretty much going to give you the best return on your investment when it comes to doing Turo versus more expensive cars. So this is a resource that you can use to kind of give you an idea of what cars would do well in your market. And also if you scroll down and if you wanted to look at a specific car in your area, let's say for example you live in Houston, Texas, right? We have this Kia Sedona that does over 10,000 a year, right? So this could potentially be a car that I would buy, right? And then let's say we look at a Jeep Wrangler, right? So a Jeep Wrangler does a little over 10K a year, almost the same as the Kia Sedona that we were looking at, but it's significantly more. It costs a lot more, so therefore your return on your investment is going to be much smaller, right? Now, if I could potentially get this Jeep Wrangler at around the same price as that Kia Sedona, this could be something that I buy. So you just want to keep that in mind when you're using this. Another option too, to figure out what cars are good for your market, and something that I do is just if you go on the Turo website or the app and then you want to switch to guest mode, so you want to pretend like you're booking a car, and I'm just going to pick a city. I'm going to do Houston. We're going to go to Houston, Texas, and you want to pick a date that's out like this at least 2 to 3 months in the future. So we're going to go on, we're going to do July. We're going to do a week. All right. So pretty much what I do is I like to filter for all-star host. So we're gonna set my filter for all-star host, since they usually have their settings optimized and they typically do the best on Turo. I'm going to click view results. And what I would do is I would kind of just look at what cars are showing first in the algorithm. So this Chrysler Pacifica, this is probably a newer car. They probably just listed this. And what I've found is that cars that like are newer listings usually tend to show up higher in the search rankings, just so they can start getting bookings. So I'm not going to use this one because I think this is a newer, I mean, it only has one trip. So obviously it's a newer booking. It's a newer listing. But if we scroll down a little bit, I would probably look at this Toyota RAV4 2023, right? It's got 30 trips. So, or this Volkswagen Atlas 2021, it's got 74 trips. These are probably two cars that I would look at. So we're going to start off with, we'll do the Volkswagen Atlas. Since it has more trips, it's got a lot of trips. So I'm just going to click on the car. All right, and then we scroll down. Okay, so it's got a lot of recent reviews. So we have a review in May. We got a couple in April. We got some in March. And then do keep in mind that some people, they don't write a review. So if they don't write a review, but they give you 5 stars, it's not going to show up in here. This only shows the written reviews. Sometimes people will just give you a 5-star review and they don't write anything, so it's not going to show up on their profile. So do keep that in mind. So what I'm doing is I'm just looking and looking at these cars and just trying to see, okay, are they getting a lot of trips? Are they getting a lot of good reviews? So I'm going to come on here. So it looks like it's getting a lot of reviews. He's offering delivery. I'm actually going to go back and filter for this car. This could potentially be a car that I want to buy. So I'm going to filter for this car so I can only see Volkswagen Atlases. So we see we got a few here. So the next step that I would do is I would take the average daily rate of at least 4 of these cars. So I'm just going to click on the listing, right? So it's renting out for $69 for 6 days. So I'm just going to write this down on a separate sheet right here. So we're just going to put 69 for the first one. And then we're going to click the second one. And this one's also renting out for 69. And then we'll look at this third one right here. This one's renting out for 77. All right, and then we're gonna look at this fourth car. This one's renting out for 64. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna add these numbers together. So 69 plus 69 plus 77 plus 64. So that gives us 279. And then you're just gonna divide that by 4. And that's just gonna give us the average daily rate, which is $69.75. So we'll just do 69 as the average daily rate. And then we'll multiply that times 17, since we're just gonna say it rents out for 17 days, which is a very safe and conservative number. So 69 times 17, that gives us 1,173. And let's say you're on the 80-20 plan. So we'll divide that by 80. And that gives us $938 per month, which are our earnings. And this is a very safe and conservative number. So if you're running your listing the right way and you have open availability, your car should be rented out for at least 20 days a week, 20 days a month, right? But we'll just do 17 just to be safe. You want to do conservative numbers when you're renting your cars out, when you're determining how much you can make. So If we're renting this out for an average daily rate of $69 and it rents out for 17 days a month, that gives us $938 in average earnings if you're on the 80/20 plan, right? And that doesn't include like gas reimbursements, fees that you pay when you deliver. That doesn't include like any extras that you charge. So this is a very safe and conservative number, right? 938. Now, what I'll do from here is once I determine how much I could realistically make, I'll go on Car Gurus and see how much I can purchase this car for. And you want to do the same model years as the ones that you were looking at, because if you pick an older year like a 2013, it's not going to rent out for the same daily rate. So you want to do a similar model year, right? So we'll do 2021. So we're just going to go on Car Gurus. All right, so if we look right here, we have a 2021 Volkswagen Atlas listed for $15,906, right? And if you see, the estimated payment is $314. So let's just assume that I'm able to get this car on a 72-month term with $0 down. This is about how much my monthly payment is going to be, right? It's going to be $314. So let's say if we take that, we add $100 for insurance, right? And then we add another $100 for maintenance, right? So we're just going to subtract that from the earnings that we had, which was $938. That's going to give us $424 in profit every single month, right? Which is pretty good. Like $400 to $500 a month in profit is where you want to be at, right? So this could potentially be a car that I would want to buy, right? It rents out for a pretty good daily rate. $69 is really high. It's a 3-row vehicle, right? It's a bigger SUV, which is perfect for, families. These are all getting a lot of trips. You see, we got 72 trips. We got 146 trips. We got 56 trips. These cars are getting a lot of trips. 74, right? 62, 69, 55. All of the, this is a good car to get. This is a car that I could potentially buy, right? So that's kind of how I determine the cars that I want to buy. Also, another thing you could do is you could even, we could go back to our Turo calculator here and kind of see how this does on the Turo calculator. Now, do keep in mind though that these are just averages. So I've actually found that all my cars do better than what the averages are on here, right? But this is 12,000. This is actually really good, right? And we're getting this around 15,000. So our return on investment is going to be significantly higher because we're getting the car for so much cheaper. This is something that I would consider buying. I might even buy this car, right? But this is basically how I would determine the cars that I would get into my market, right? Another option that you could use is if we go back on Turo and we're going to clear these filters. All right. So we're just going to click on another Turo host profile that has a lot of trips. And we're just going to look into his profile and see what cars that he has. Now, you want to do this with a host that has at least 1,000 trips, that has a bunch of cars. All right, he only has 30 trips, so he probably doesn't have that many cars. So we're not going to use his as an example. We'll click on this one. All right, he has 177 trips. You want to go with the host that has a ton of trips and has at least 15 to 20 cars. All right, so we have a Turo host here. He has over 1,000 trips, joined in April of 2017. So he's very experienced. All right, so we're just going to click on his profile. And we're just going to see what cars that he has. Right? He's got a Volkswagen Tiguan. He's got 2 of the same cars. He's got 2 Chevrolet Trax. He's got 2 Chevrolet Equinox. He's got 2 Jeep Compasses. He's got a Hyundai Tucson. He's got multiple Kia Seltos. So he's got a lot of these. So here's the thing, right? You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just get the cars that other top hosts in your area have. It's a reason why he has several of the same cars. He's got like 4 of these Chevrolet Trax. So this would be I think he's got like 7. So it's a reason why he has 7 of these cars. They must be doing very well for him to have multiple of them. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You could just go and get the cars that other Turo hosts in your area have that are doing well. Right? He's got a Ford Bronco Sport, a Honda HR-V, Toyota Corolla, right? You can get these cars. You don't have to go out there and do your own research. You can just get the cars that they have. So these are some of the ways that you can figure out which cars are best in your market. And these are some of the things that I do to figure out the cars that I'm going to get. But I hope this video helped you guys. Let me know down in the comments what else you want me to see. And yeah, I will see y'all later.